Hello good people and welcome back to Level Up Your Tactics. Now, have a look at this position. Let's say you're playing as black as the legendary Super Grandmaster Anatoly Karpov. White plays e3, you play bishop to b4, and the opponent plays the blunderous and spills the tomato sauce blundering move knight to d2. What do you do here? This tactic employs distraction and then overloading the defender. Let's boost that ELO. Let's get it.
Round 1. Fight!
This game took place in Riga in 1968 between Prit Sangla and Anatoly Karpov. This is pre-Twitch, pre-YouTube, pre-streaming era. Over the board. Before I forget, if you do like this content, please leave a like and sub. You have my gratitude. Let's get started. Again, we're going to talk about the tactical ideas of distraction leading up to overloading the piece. White starts with d4, knight to f6. This is the Indian defense. Knight to f3, e6. Can go into many variations. You can push here. You can go bishop to a b4. Hey, anything's open. Bishop to g5, pinning. We're not talking about openings here, of course, just principles. And then how we finally get to the tactical position we're talking about. c5, attacking the center and immediately. c3. That does obstruct the knight, but it keeps the position solid. c takes d, c takes d, queen to b6. Now, the idea here is to attack d5, but primarily b2, because that's it's not defended. And if you're looking at this position, a common motif is that the c file is open, so you'd want to place your rooks there. Right, I can draw this arrows. Queen to b3 was played. And here, knight to e4, just avoiding the double, but also attacking this, and also attacking sneakily, I like that word, d2. And offering to white, do you want to take my queen? This does open up an idea on the a2 square there. And the opponent refuses, of course, shuffles the bishop. As you see, if you do takes, a takes, knight to c3 per se, this will lead into a kind of major pieces endgame, middle game, endgame-ish, and Karpov is really good at these positions. So the opponent wants to keep the queens on the board. So bishop to f4 was played. Now knight to c6, applying pressure again, once, twice, e3. And now bishop to b4 was played by Karpov. And we arrive at the blunderous knight b to d2. Let's look at a better alternative. Instead of the mentioned blunder, which will solve, the safer route is knight to c3. You have multiple defenders, and after, say, d5, bishop to d3 takes, or bishop to and castles, then all is well. Everything's even. But instead, we have the opponent, Karpov's opponent, playing knight b to d2, which in the Grandmaster level wins black a piece. But how? Can you find the winning combination? With the idea that the king is pinned, this is attacked, and there is an idea where you, Karpov, can overload the defender of this knight. And the answer is in 3, 2, and 1. Karpov is not here for fireworks, but he can spot tactics. He's a grandmaster. Grandmasters are very good at spotting errors in calculation. And the correct move, strong move, starts with g5. You're like, what? That's free. Is it though? Is it free? Let's have a look at these variations. If you take, which is what the opponent played, then you run into the simple bishop to d2. No, your queen's not hanging. That's not it. Except the thing is, both these pieces can be attacked. They're both in dark squares. What move do you play next? It's a simple one. And the opponent actually resigned here after that. It's just simple tactics, but stuff that can happen in our games. And the answer is in 3, 2, and 1. Queen to a5. There's a checkmate threat, and this is attacked twice. So if you try to defend, you could even take here and then capture here next. It's just done, basically. Yeah, here, takes, no intermezzos. And you might be wondering, let's move back a bit. After g5, what if we don't touch that poison pawn? What if you go here? Bishop to g3. Well, I'll let you solve it, based on the idea that this will be overloaded. Now we're talking about overloading. We first distracted the bishop on f4. Now we're going to overload this piece. How do you overload this piece? I'm just giving you guys all the answers. The answer in 3, 2, and 1. Black wins with just simple pawn push. And this has got to move. You know, you have to move that piece. And then you might be wondering, okay, after g5, I'm still not convinced. What do I do here? What if I go here? Bishop to e5. Well then, hit. Bishop to g3, and we just recycle. Recycling is good for you guys. And doesn't matter, you move this anywhere. You protect here, I take. You move this anywhere, you get absolutely vaporized with that shot. Or even here. Check. If you want to be more mysterious, you can open check, which is probably stronger. Yeah. Attacking the queen, and there's discoveries in the king, and the game's just done. There's kind of positions where it's just opening fault, and you don't have to memorize the opening, but just understand that knight b to d2 was a terrible, terrible move. Quick recap, guys. d4, knight to f6. Knight to f3, e6, bishop to g5, c5, c3, takes, queen out, hitting here, queen defends, knight 2, refuses to trade, hits again on d4, bishop to b4, and now we have knight b to d2, at which point the principled enforcing g5, overloading this, attacking this, and the opponent took, takes, and ends the game. Checkmate, threat, double, and double attack. Overloading the piece, well, not yet overloading the piece, but if bishop went to g3, now overloading f3, this falls, and the game is over. Simple tactics, but tactics that work. Nothing fancy. No Mikhail Tal, smothered stuff, and Bobby Fischer-esque brutality. But it's still savage. I hope you guys got something out of this. I'll see you guys later. Double peace.